demigods to propagating the holy Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. Discover the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in portions to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to the next part, that is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Yoga, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Is there anyone who would like to introduce in the call today?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my pranam. My pranams to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Govinda. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from London. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Guru Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Guru Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I welcome all of you. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Ananta Chaitanya Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 8.3.14 onwards. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for the brief introduction on Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Here is a brief introduction about today's speaker. Hare Krishna. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Ananta Chaitanya Prabhu on our call today. He is from Pune and came in touch with devotee during his undergraduate studies. He has completed his master's in computer science from Arizona State University and is working as a software engineer in Intel. He took initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2019 and is serving the Phoenix Temple in Arizona. He gives Bhagavatam classes every week and he is engaged in leading Kirtan in ISKCON of Phoenix. Thank you. Here was a brief introduction about today's speaker. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Krishna. This is my pranam. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji. Now I will hand over the word to you. Hari Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that brief introduction on Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming on this Bhakti Sangha call and giving your valuable time and association. We are really fortunate to hear from you today on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. I'll just share. Can everyone see? It should be visible.
Yes, Prabhuji. Can see.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3, verse number 14. Sarvendriya Gunadrishtre Sarva Pratyaya Hetave Asata Chayayo Toya Taya Sad Abhashaya Te Namaha. Translation. My Lord, you are the observer of all the objectives of the senses. Without your mercy, there is no possibility of solving the problem of doubts. The material world is just like a shadow resembling you. Indeed, one accepts this material world as real because it gives a glimpse of your existence. Purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Chaitanya Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To paraphrase this verse, the objectives of sensual activities are actually observed by you. Without your direction, the living entity cannot take even a step forward. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Sarvasya chaham riddhe sanvinishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. You are situated in everyone's heart, and only from you come remembrance and forgetfulness. Chai eva yasya bhuvanani bivarti durga. The living entity under the clutches of Maya wants to enjoy this material world. But unless you give him directions and remind him, he cannot make progress in pursuing his shadowy objective in life.
అలా భయపడను కాకపోతే బబ్లు వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్స్
Right? The conditioned soul wrongly progresses toward the wrong objective, life after life, and he is reminded of that objective by you. In one life, the conditioned soul desires to progress toward a certain objective, but after his body changes, he forgets everything. Nonetheless, my Lord, because he wanted to enjoy something of this world, you remind him of this in the next birth. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Yes. Because he wanted to enjoy something of this world, you remind him of this in this next birth. Because this conditioned soul wants to forget you, by your grace you give him opportunities, life after life, by which he can almost perpetually forget you. Therefore, you are eternally the director of the conditioned souls. It is because of you, it is because you are the original cause of everything that everything appears real. The ultimate reality is your Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. The word Sarva Prachakrati Thakur, who says that a result gives one a glimpse of its cause. Who says that a result gives one a glimpse of its cause. For example, since an earthen pot is the result of the actions of a potter, by seeing the earthen pot, one can guess at the existence of the potter. Similarly, this material world resembles the spiritual world, and any intelligent person can guess how it is acting. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. The activities of the material world suggest that behind them is the superintendence of the Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangon langyati girim. Yat kripatam vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Vancha kalpatarvesha kripa sindhuvecha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Just. So, thank you all for joining today. It's really a great pleasure to see you all, every single day working so hard in material life also, but making the time for Krishna. It's really amazing to see all of you working together. And it really inspires that, how we should be working together and how one can actually encourage and motivate so that everybody can one day, progress in spiritual life and take up responsibilities which Srila Prabhupada himself wanted us to take up. So thank you so much for welcoming and attending this call. It's really amazing to see you all doing all this. So please bless that, I can also do that one day, be so dedicated as you all are. Thank you so much. So today, like we are going through Gajendra's prayers, and we know the story that Gajendra gets caught into the mouth of the crocodile, and the Lord comes and rescues him. The most funny part is that not funny, the part where even other people who call out to the Lord, yes, like let's say there are so many religions, there are so many aspects of life, there are so many people who worship demons, demigods, so many people are there, and then we see even in their lives some or the other way something happens and they are saved, like Gajendra is saved, but obviously they don't go back home back to Godhead. That's another thing, but they, materially speaking, they do get saved, yes. And I was thinking that, and in this verse also, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that the ultimate reality is your Lordship. Yes, it is you. You are the original cause of everything. And that's why, ya yathama prapadyante, ya yathama prapadyante. So if you think about it, that if some other person from who is not a Krishna devotee, yes, something else, maybe he's worshipping a stone. Yes. Even then, sometimes we see that there is reciprocation. But actually, even from the demigods, there is reciprocation. Even from people who are worshipping the ghosts, there is reciprocation. Yes. So why is that? So I was thinking about this that ya yathama prapadyante, Krishna is going to reciprocate as we desire. Correct? So, because over this purport actually answers that question, right? That without your direction, the living entity cannot even take a step forward. Yes. I used to get bewildered before, and even now I do get bewildered that how is it that people are developing devotion to the demigods? If you really see that people cry, people are, when because I'm from Pune, right? And like Mataji mentioned, so staying in Pune, the biggest festival is, yeah, Janmashtami is definitely there, but there is Ganesh Utsav also. And then there is Durga Utsav, Navratra we celebrate. And there's big, big lines. My mother used to take me everywhere. We live in the heart of the city. So you'll be standing in the line of Jogeshwari. And then for 9 days, they will do nine different, what do you call that? Avatars, of Devi. And then you'll be standing in line. You'll be standing for the Ganesh Utsav. We have Ganesh at our home also for 10 days. So you'll be worshipping and doing aartis every single day. Then we have Lakshmi Pujan. So many places. I'm like, yeah, people are attached. Yes, people are attached. And so how is that thing going on? Because the soul is actually interacting with the Lord. Yes, we agree to that, there is only one path. It's either towards the Lord or away from the Lord. There's only one path. But we think that there are many paths, that you can worship this and that and you'll get the same result. And sometimes we see, yes, they are getting the same result. They are getting those emotions of ecstasy sometimes. I feel that, oh, how come these people are getting that? But eventually the answer is given over here. Without your direction, the living entity cannot even take a step forward. Yes, they get saved by their, worship of the demigods and everything. Why? Why? So then we have different answers that there is their karma, you know. But what about the devotion they have? So over here, the living entity under the clutches of Maya wants to enjoy this material world. Yes, ya yathama prapadyante. That the living entity wants that. He wants to express his devotion through the demigod, through the demons, through the ghosts, through, other religions. And they want that kind of expression um, of their desire. Correct? So now if somebody has that, then they get that particular kind of body. We know that. Correct? So actually Krishna is interacting. Yes. So when somebody else worships from another sect, actually it is still Krishna who's interacting. Yes. The Shris, if you see the Shri Sampradaya, they don't, somewhere I had heard in one of the classes, that they don't actually worship the demigods. They don't even enter the temple of the demigods. It's actually not good for them. If he's a practicing Sampradayak Shri Vaishnav, they practically don't do that. And because they're seeing Vishnu everywhere. Yes. Yes, Vishishta Advaita. Correct? Vishishta Advaita. Everything is Krishna. So the potency of the demigod is also coming from Krishna. We agree to that. And so, because everything is the potency of Krishna, so who's interacting? It's actually Krishna. He is fulfilling all the desires. So, for me at least, this is for me, maybe you all have cleared that doubt. But I was shocked. It's like, oh, it's actually Krishna who's interacting with everyone. Because that person has the desire to know Krishna in the form of whatever perverted reflection he wants to, then Krishna reveals to that living entity that yes, you can interact with me in this way. Yes. And that's why all these things are, reciprocal. When we actually step forward, like over here it said, a living entity cannot even take a step forward. What does that mean, right? It's like we do not control our body. We appear to control our body, right? It's actually the Paramatma, the Super Soul. It's Krishna who's actually giving us the reaction of a desire. Yes. We want to perform an action, and so the Paramatma, if it is sanctioned, then we are able to move forward. And at the same time, when we push the ground gives us a reaction back. It is still Krishna. Yes. Because it is Krishna's potency. And so that's why a pure devotee, right? When we say that he's seeing Krishna everywhere, he sees the connection that everything is in control of the Lord. Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante buddha bhava samanvita. That I am everything. I am the source of everything. He is everything and he's not everything at the same time. How is that possible? Hmm. It's achinta bheda bhetatva. It's achinta. It's inconceivable. But, over here, by the mercy of the Lord, yes, He is the person who's going to solve our doubts. In the translation, without your mercy, there is no possibility of solving the problem of doubts. So slowly and steadily, I was shocked that yes, our doubts do get cleared. I didn't even know I had a doubt that, how Krishna is reciprocating with everyone. And then somehow or the other, you start thinking, and then it's there, ya yatham prapadyante. Krishna is actually interacting with our desire. But is he interacting fully? Then somebody might say, oh, everybody is doing pure devotional service because it's only Krishna, right? It's the beautiful form of Krishna. But it's like, I want to just interact with Krishna with that limited scope. Prabhupada mentioned over. The living entity wants to enjoy, but unless you give him directions and remind him, he cannot make progress. Yes, he cannot make progress. What does that mean, right? It's like I cannot, if Krishna stands in front of me as the Virata Rupa, will I be able to enjoy whatever I'm enjoying? Will I be able to enjoy, let's say swimming or scuba diving? Think I would have no rasa at all. The poetic reflection of enjoying without Krishna. I cannot have that. So that's why he is interacting even with devotees to the extent what we want him to do. And that's so amazing, right? If we see Mahabharata and if we see Bhagavad Gita, I was listening to Maharaj's lecture, I think it was 3 months back, right? And he was talking about Uddhava, Vaishnava etiquette. And there's one thing he mentioned in that class is that, Krishna is the charioteer, right? He's the charioteer for Arjuna. And so, being a charioteer, I used to think that, yeah, what's the big deal to be the charioteer, right? It's like, it's like, you're sitting on the chariot and then you're doing the horses and, you're catching the reins and you're doing, following the boy and you're God, nobody's going to attack you, something like that. And then somebody was mentioning that, being a charioteer doesn't mean it's so simple. Actually, it means that the person who's riding, the person who is the actual, the warrior, right? It's Arjuna over here in this case. He cannot talk to, like we are sitting in a car, right? And if there's a driver, there's a Uber driver, or suppose that's me, then somebody will say that, hey, Prabhu, you're driving wrong. You're driving slow. You should drive fast. Or you're driving very fast. Go slow. Yes, or you take a left over here, you take a right over here. So there is a direction which the person who is sitting in the back is actually giving. Because that's why the driver is working for that person, let's say, right? But it's not as simple for Krishna, right? Because Arjuna is in the middle of a war and Krishna has agreed to take a position of a charioteer, a chauffeur kind of a thing. So Arjuna is not going to tell him, hey, okay, I'm going to press a button, okay, go left. I'm going to press a button, go right. No, he cannot shout also, go left, go right. He has to indicate Krishna somehow. Yes. And to indicate Krishna, there's only one thing he can do. He cannot talk, okay? He cannot use his hands because he's was fighting. The only way he can do is by kicking him. Yes, by kicking him. Hey, go left, go right, like we do with an elephant, right? When somebody's sitting, you kick on the left, you kick on the right, you know? Or for the horse also, right? You do all that. And then it was a shock that actually Krishna is serving the devotee like anything. He surrendered to Arjuna that I will do if somebody, a small kid actually, or someone who's inferior, in a material sense, who's younger, very younger, if that person kicks me, you know, and if he's kicking me in front of everyone, and then nobody says anything, and it's like, dude, he just insulted me. Where are his parents? They should teach him something. How can he do this? How can he do that? you know but over here, the supreme personality of Godhead, who shows the Virata Rupa in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna just before the war, Arjuna, after seeing that, you know still he's going ahead and kicking Krishna to move left, to move right. That is inconceivable, actually. We cannot imagine what's going on, but it is Krishna's inconceivable causeless mercy, you know that he wants to do that for Arjuna. And that's why the most beautiful person, you will never want your kids to face that. Yes. You never want your loved ones to go through something insulting like that. But Krishna is doing it and showing the world that how much surrendered he is to his devotee. Why? Because Sarva Dharmana Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Arjuna has done that already. Now he's not going to think whether to listen to Krishna or not. And that's why Krishna is fully surrendered. Yes. And hence, ya yatham aprapadyante also applies over here. He is reciprocating with the love of his devotee so much. He's ready to become the charioteer. And that's why when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to, South India, to the Kurma Brahmana, right? He's reading the Bhagavad Gita and he's crying. And that's why he reveals over there, right? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks him, why are you crying? He says that, you know, I don't understand all of this. But the thing to see Krishna, actually surrendered to Arjuna, that he is a charioteer, and the scene which I see in my, eyes actually makes me very, what do you say? Uh, Makes me feel, you know, makes my heart filled with joy. And my eyes, I cannot stop crying. It actually even, goes on to my books. And I'm not really able to read the Sanskrit. And that's like, I was like, why would that be a big deal? But this is one of the aspects, right? Krishna is taking this menial position, you know. That is like he is doing so much seva that we can't even imagine. I can't do it. Until and unless that person is a big person, like, your guru or somebody, then only you will do something like this. Otherwise, from a junior, yeah, the ego is so big that it will be hurting me. I might do it artificially, but it will be hurting me inside me. If somebody does something better than me, actually, right? If somebody does something better than me, I'm actually going to feel the pain of, insult, ego, that, I have not got this respect. I should have got this respect. Why didn't I get this respect? But Krishna over here, being the original, Supreme Personality, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigra, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karam. He's Sarva Karana Karanam. Yes, he's doing that. Man, very shocking. So, Krishna reserves himself to actually show himself to the devotee. Why? Ya yathama prapadyante. But, Radhika Raman Prabhu says very nicely that this ya yathama prapadyante, Krishna, is actually not, in the case of a devotee, he's doing more than that. Yes, we always hear that you take one step towards God and then he takes 100 steps towards you. And in when I, like Mataji mentioned, like when you come initially and you hear this, like, oh, okay, you have so much faith that yes, I'm progressing. I'm going to, do this, and then yes, Krishna is going to reciprocate. He's going to come closer, going to come closer. And that determination is there that yes, I will do more and more so that Krishna will come closer and closer. Now, in all of this, that's why if you see the whole world, it's actually run by Krishna. Yes, even though it is Kali Yuga and then this is the modern age and then we need, we have to go with the modern age and blah, blah, blah. And then, so many reasons we give that this is not practical. But before ISKCON, before Srila Prabhupada took the arduous journey to the West to establish the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, it was definitely impossible. Yes, the Indian people itself was saying that it is not possible. We don't have independence. We've just got independence. We are in a war. We are in this. We are in that. We don't have time for this. We are a poor country. But Srila Prabhupada showed, he showed that even during this, you know, you can be Krishna conscious. The things which were told 5,000 years back, we are having at our home. Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. Yes. So coming back, the conditioned soul wrongly progresses toward the wrong objective life after life, and he is reminded of that objective by you. Yes, why? Because if I'm not reminded, that is my desire. At the time of death, if I desire that I wanted to enjoy more and more about this situation or that situation, then I will take up that kind of a body. It is registered in my karma that yes, he desires this, right? So I need to figure out, Krishna needs to figure out a way so that he can enjoy that way, that I can enjoy that way. Yes, and that's why Prabhupada mentions that Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Everything is controlled by Krishna. Yes, everything is controlled by Krishna. When we actually see this, right? Why is this important? Sorry, we are going too philosophical, but why is this important? Is that even if you're outside over there and you're outside the temple, because in the temple it's easy, right? Because everything is Krishna, the deity, everything is related to the Lord Himself in the temple. It's very easy to do, the temple has to be clean. You have to cook for the deities, you have to be clean, you have to behave like this, you have to behave like that. But as soon as we get out of the temple, that's when the struggle starts. Yes, I am a perfect devotee in the temple, but outside the temple, I'm not. It's so much struggle out there. Then people there's a frequent question, right, that we go to our jobs, then we have to deal with people, we have to deal with that. But if we if we have that vision that everything is in, yes, Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam, the activities of the material world suggest that behind them is the superintendence of the Lord, then we are Krishna conscious. Yes. That day somebody was mentioning that it was mentioned in the class that material problem, spiritual solution. Material problem, material solution, material problem, spiritual solution. Or no, so material problem, material solution, spiritual problem, spiritual solution. Sounds very nice to hear. But any material solution is going to be fruitive. The sixth canto of Bhagavatam, if you go to the sixth canto, Sukdev Goswami himself says it to Maharaj Parikshit that any activity you're going to counteract for your impious activity which you did in the past. Like, let's say you did a material activity and then it is considered that you do a material solution for it, right? And so, if you do that material solution because it is material, yes, it is also going to be fruitive. You're getting my point? It's like, how should we say? Um, an example. So it's like when you want potatoes, when you want French fries, you boil the potatoes or you don't, I don't know. Do we boil the potatoes in French fries? You don't, right? So whatever. So if we are having it, then we want to eat potatoes, right? So you cook the potatoes. Yes, you have to start with the potatoes. Yes, and in the end you get the potatoes, right? But when you eat the potatoes, yes, the reaction is that you are having your glucose increase or not increase and all those things which happen in your body. Correct. At the same time, when those potatoes are offered to the Lord and then they are eaten, do they not spike the glucose or reduce the glucose? I don't know what that is. Maybe the doctors can verify that. So the starch or something like that, but it affects the body, right? Yes. So then The question arises then, what was it, a material solution or spiritual solution? Satisfying my hunger with prasad, material, spiritual. So the question arises that, people say that, yes, Prabhu, this does not work. We have heard that, material problem, material solution, it works fine. But the thing is that there is nothing material. Why? Because over here it's written. Similarly, this world resembles the spiritual world. Yes. It says that you are the original cause of everything. Actually, there is nothing material. What creates material and spiritual is our perception. This is a very important point, and that's why a devotee, an advanced devotee, wherever he is, he's not affected by material energy. Why? Because he doesn't see the difference between material and spiritual. He deals with the things which comes in his life as the potency of the Lord. Yes, we always talk about this, tathenu kampa susumikshama, no? But it's really hard to apply. Yes, when things go wrong in our life, it's really hard to apply that. Yes, the first thing which I've seen, in general, even for me, it's very hard. So sometimes, let's say people lose their job, right? And then it's like I don't have time for chanting anymore. I need to figure out what my job is. And that's my material solution, that I need to figure out what my job is. So I cannot do anything related to Krishna. Yes. Maybe somebody's sick. Yes. And I cannot even chant, let's say. Yes. You can just, it's so difficult to chant. Okay, it's fine. Then you don't chant your rounds. Okay, fine. Material solution, I have to depend on the doctor. But it's the fact is that actually the doctors, the medicines and everything is the potency of the Lord. Right? The medicine which we take for our health, I had asked this, like we were discussing this, and this question came up that you say material problem, material solution is not correct. Material problem, spiritual solution. So I asked, and usually this is what my understanding was before I heard, Maharaj's lecture. So the understanding was given is that, um, that when we take a medicine, like if I'm, I think there's somebody's on not on mute. Okay. Okay. Where was I? The medicine, right? Okay, yeah. So if I have a fever and if I take medicine, yes. So taking that medicine is spiritual or material. And generally, what I used to think that is material. Yes. Yes, because you look at it, yeah, this mouse and everything, this is material. It's material. What is spiritual? Spiritual means, Prabhu, spiritual means that, it is like, it's not seen in this world. Yes. Then the question came up. That's why we were clarifying and we were talking about this. It's not material. The vision we have makes it material. Because the potency of the medicine, I don't trust the medicine. Maharaj was explaining this point. We don't trust the medicine. It's by doing that intelligent activity which is available by Prakriti, which is derived by Krishna himself. He is giving me an opportunity to heal myself so that I can continue Krishna consciousness. That's one thing. The other thing is also the potency in the medicine which is going to heal this body is Krishna. Because why? Because we cannot even take a step forward without the direction of the Lord. Yes, we forget these points, right? And it's so easy to forget that whatever I'm eating or sleeping or taking rest, taking rest, is it spiritual or material? If I'm taking rest so that the body can remain healthy, and because Krishna has given me this body, and I'm using my intelligence to keep it healthy, then why is that activity material? It's not material anymore. It is spiritual. Why? Because I'm conscious about Krishna, that yes, it is his body. When we wake up in the morning and why do we brush? Is brushing a material or spiritual activity? It is a material activity. If a person gets up and doesn't think about Krishna, that I want to maintain my teeth and my mouth nicely, because Krishna would want me to do that. Arjuna, he's fighting the war, he's killing everyone. Is it material or spiritual? No, no, no. Over there, Krishna told him to kill. That's why it is spiritual. But the activity, if you see, the blood coming out of people's body, the arrows which he's shooting, is it material or spiritual? Are those spiritual arrows? They're not, you know. So the perception is in our mind. Yes, the perception is our thinking of how, it is material or spiritual. It is spiritual if it is connected to the Lord. It is as simple as that. Bhakti is something very different. My friend and I used to talk about this. We don't do actually bhakti, he said. We actually do something else. We do karma yoga or something like that. And then I was worried. I'm not doing bhakti. So then we go and get Krishna, right? So I was worried. And then after a few years, Maharaj explained what is bhakti. It's simple. You're doing it to satisfy the Lord. You're doing it for Krishna. Your intent is to satisfy the Lord. Whether I complete that activity in total Krishna consciousness or not, might not be now, but tomorrow it will be one day because I'm practicing. Yes. The potatoes which I'm going to boil, if I'm boiling it for myself, it is 100% self-satisfaction, 0% Krishna. Correct? But as soon as we become devotees, then we are like, oh, no, 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 we have to eat prasad. So let me make something for me, but I will offer it to the Lord, and then I will eat. So it is prasad. Correct? So now we have added Krishna. Yes. Now it is 30%, 70% myself, 30% Krishna. And slowly and steadily, like Madhavendra Puri, right? Everything is for Krishna. Their existence is for Krishna. Madhavendra Puri, when he reached Khichar Gopinath temple, he saw the Amrita Keli going towards, for the offering of a Gopinath. And in his mind, he's thinking that he will make something similar for Gopal. If I can just get the taste, I can make something similar for Gopal. And then he gets worried that I have desired without it got offered to Krishna. So I'm such a rotten soul. He leaves that place and goes in the market and sits over there and is crying and is, chanting his rounds in atonement. That how can I think about it like this? It's such a big aparadh. But at the same time, what was his intention? His intention is so pure that he doesn't want to taste it for himself. Because we know Madhavendra Puri, actually he was not eating at all. He used to eat whatever used to fall in his pathway. If somebody used to come and give him, then only he used to eat. He never begged for Madhukari. He never went to any doorstep. Yes. And such a person would have the desire to eat kheer? No. His desire was that Gopal will feel so happy. Srinathji will feel so happy that this kheer will be for him. That's 100% for Krishna and 0% for himself. So, Prabhupada, he is giving us this, that we need to think for Krishna. What can be better for Krishna? What can be better? How can I make it better for my Guru, for the devotees around me? How can I, for their satisfaction? We have a series in our temple, Vaishnav Sadachar. And then they were like 8 speakers, internal speakers, because it's the community giving to the community. And the question came up, that's why we were listening to Bhakti Charu Maharaj's classes. And over there, Niranjan Maharaj actually explains this point that Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttamam. Correct? We know this verse. This verse is used for bhakti. Correct? How should my bhakti be? Anyabhilashita Shunyam. You know what Niranjan Maharaj says? That Anyabhilashita Shunyam should be also with association of devotees. And I was like, what? How is that? Because usually we come together, the Sangha. We do Sangha. Yes, Bhajana Kriya, Sadhu Sangha. We do Sadhu Sangha as a step in bhakti. Yes, ये satisfy करना है. I need to do this and then move forward. But the difference between neophyte, Madhyamadhikari, Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, one of the differences is that the Kanishta sees the deity in the temple and he sees only the Lord and himself. Yes, he doesn't see anybody over there, that anybody's involved. Usually, I also think that, oh, it will be so nice to be with Krishna. Correct? But it's only about me and Krishna. Kanishta, what can you do? So many problems. Then comes the Madhyama. He sees the Lord in the temple, the deity in the temple. He does it for the deity. And now he's also seeing the devotees. Yeah, that is very important. Now he's observing the devotee. Oh, yeah, devotees are also important. And when he becomes Uttama, he does it for the devotees. The Lord takes a secondary position. It is always primary, he's always primary, but the love for the devotees increases so much. Yes. He sees everybody as a devotee of the Lord, and he wants to do everything for the devotees to make them happy. Yes, that's an Uttamadhikari. He sees more in the devotees. And that's why Niranjan Maharaj was explaining it should be Anya Bilashita Shunyam. When we associate with devotees, when we associate with fellow devotees, and we are, respectful and everything, we usually think about our benefit. Yes, the first aparadh for Nam aparadh is blaspheming the devotees, correct? And everybody knows this. Vaishnava aparadh is the greatest aparadh. Yes, Vaishnava aparadh is the greatest aparadh. And that's why we try to be very careful not to hurt someone. But why are we trying to be careful not to hurt someone? Is it because we love that person? Or because I love myself so much that I cannot sacrifice my devotion, I cannot do Vaishnava Aparadh to actually sacrifice whatever I'm doing. At least for me, I usually think that way that, if I do Vaishnava Aparadh, oh my God, it's going to be such a big trouble for me, I'm going to face so many issues in my life. Then there is sin there, oh my God, then I'm not going to go ahead. And then everybody will move ahead. And then what will happen to me? Oh, Krishna, please help. Yes? And then we go and beg for forgiveness. I'm so sorry, I did Vaishnava Aparadh. I'm so sorry. Why? Because I want to be saved. Is it Anyabhilashita Shunyam? It's not. Maharaj explains this, Radhana Maharaj also explains this, that to serve means to please. So the intention to associate with the devotees is also to please the devotees. Yes, it is to please the devotee. That what can I do to make this person happy? And when he is happy, I am happy. Paradukha right? Vaishnavas are paradukha but we don't apply it when we are in association of devotees. At least I don't. I would want that person to suffer. That is the conditional nature, by default conditional nature of the soul, of a conditioned soul, is that I am envious. I don't want them to move forward, because if they move forward, then what will happen to me? What will happen to my prestige? Who will take care of me? Today I am getting, this thing and that thing, and people are asking about me. Tomorrow they want. And then Maharaj says that we are happy to see somebody else progress. It gives us more happiness than our own progress. Oh, I was like, okay, this is not gonna happen at all. How can I do this? That I am happy to see my junior become a senior to me. Very difficult. And then when he becomes the senior, he doesn't have good attitude. He's going to exploit me, and then I'm going to suffer. How will that happen? I cannot let that happen. I have to scheme and plan and do politics, right? And we think that that person does politics, and that person does this, and that person does that. No, is devotees introspect. Madhavendra Puri over here is seeing that he's such a great offender. And usually I think that everybody else is an offender and not me. But it's the other way around. When we are advanced, it's the other way around. Yes. And that's why Gajendra over here is praying to the Lord that, see, I can see everything controlled by you. You know, nothing can actually work without your direction. You know, as time, Krishna says that I am time. What does that mean? As the minute is going by, we are all getting older. You know, we are getting pushed by material nature to actually do the things which we don't want to do in the first place. Like it is 8 o'clock in the morning. Isn't there a push, you know, to go for work? As the time shows up, you know, it gets closer. There's that push gets bigger and bigger. I need to go on time. I need to do it for my kids. I need to do this. I need to cook that. I have to attend Bhakti Sangha also. Oh my God, there's so many things to do, right? And then that makes it so, and it's because of the sun. Yes, the sun makes them everything move. And but the sun is moving according to Krishna's direction, which is time. It is that invisible power that, you know, it's pushing everything forward, or cyclical, whatever that is. But it's moving things. Time is moving the growth of the plants. Time is making me old. Time is making me lose my hair. Time is making me sit in front of the in front of the laptop and make and work for 4, 4, 5, 5, 9 hours. If you really look at it, you know, it's that invisible force which is pushing everything, and that is Krishna. The material world is just like a shadow resembling you. It is a perverted reflection of the actual thing. Yes. There was this explanation, you know, it is given, usually it is given. It's like the material world is like a mirage, right? It's like you see, there, let's say there's a mango tree, and the mango tree is reflecting into the water beside the lake. You know, I don't know if a mango tree grows beside the lake, but let's assume it is the mango tree. It is the season for the mangoes, right? So let's go with that. And so, you see mangoes in the lake. Now, when you don't know whether which is the real one, so you jump into the water, you see the mangoes, and you go to eat them, but they taste like water. It doesn't taste like a mango, and you say that this is not a mango, correct? This is not a mango. The question arises: how do you know it is not a mango? Because you have tasted mango before. Correct? Is it? Yes, correct. It's like why? It's like if you haven't tasted gulab jamuns before, you don't desire for gulab jamuns at all. Yes or no? We don't. And then a person who has tasted a gulab jamun, he can know what it means to eat a gulab jamun. I can explain it so many times to everyone, but it won't make sense until we eat it. So similarly, you know, we are striving for happiness, for pleasure, for that mango, and we are doing it in the lake. But why are we doing it in the lake in the first place? Why? Because the desire to be happy, because we were happy. Yes, when we were with Krishna, without this material body, we were not conditioned. We were happy. We know the feeling of feeling free, you know. And so we desire that mango which is actually on the tree and not in the lake. But we'll try this mango, that mango in the lake, but it is not working out for us. And it actually proves Mayavadis don't, it doesn't make sense. The Mayavadi philosophy doesn't make sense. Why? It is a shadow. Gajendra is explaining over here. It is a shadow. A shadow can only come if there is the person or the thing, whatever it is. But the shadow is dependent, right? The shadow is dependent. If you walk on the road, and if there is no shadow, that means there is nothing over there. Yes. So the Mayavadis will say that the shadow exists independently. That's Maya, right? But Gajendra is always saying, no, the shadow is resembling you. Yes, very beautifully explained. And that's why Prabhupada is so strong that these Mayavadis are ruining everything. All people on YouTube and Instagram, and we see all of them, preach. It's slowly and steadily, there is that hint of Mayavad. the tinge of even we are Mayavadis. Why? Because we have not accepted that Krishna is actually eternal. That yes, this is eternal truth. This is absolute truth. And we are in that illusion that there is some illusion over there. But we are not seeing it as a part of Krishna. Yes? Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Yes, everything coming from Krishna is complete. But we cannot see that. And that's a big problem. And so, these Mayavadis, they actually delude us. Yes, somewhere or the other, because we are not well read, or we have not been revealed what it means to know the Lord, we try to speculate. And that's why it is very important to follow the acharyas and not try to do something different, thinking that we might be advanced. Yes, we follow the acharyas. And that's why Srila Prabhupada books are 100% free from Mayavad. Yes, 100% free from Mayavad. And that's why when we rely on them, we will also be getting rid of Mayavad. Yes? And that's why the material world is just like a shadow. Indeed, one accepts the material world is real because it gives a glimpse of your existence. And the last thing Gajendra is mentioning over here is that it is a glimpse of your existence. Yes, the shadow can exist only when the real thing is there. And that's why Krishna exists. Yes, we have a doubt whether Krishna exists or not. But over here, Gajendra is fully accepting. Duryodhana, in front of Krishna, is thinking whether Krishna exists or not. We come in front of the deity, and I think also, is this real? Maybe, but yeah, okay, let's follow what Prabhupada has given. Yes, because we do not have faith. And how does that faith show up? In association of advanced devotees. And what does other association means? To please the other person. Yes. To not think about ourselves. Why do we want to go close to Maharaj or big personalities? Because we will be benefited. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, what it means to serve is to please. How may I serve you? It's to please them in whatever instructions they have given us. We might fail in following the instructions, but in our heart, the intent is very clear. I want to make this person happy. And because of that intent, we get purified very fast. Sometimes people ask, Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj was asked, that why do people feel that it is just mechanical now? Because Maharaj says very clearly, it is because they have not introspected. They are not spontaneously, actively trying to think about Krishna. They are not trying to see Krishna, contemplate about Krishna in their lives. And that becomes a big hurdle. I was asking my sister, that will I also end up like that? Where it becomes very normal. Things become very normal. Maybe I am already reached that stage where it's always complacent. But the thing is that she was mentioning to me that, if we are in touch with Krishna consciousness, if we are, thinking and actively trying to practice, trying to make ourselves better, not externally, internally, that am I doing it for Krishna? You know, maybe I should do it this way. How can I please Krishna in this situation? Yes, this situation is not ideal for my Krishna consciousness, but how can I try to please him more and more? Is there a way to do that? You know, instead of doing this, maybe I can help this person because Krishna will be happy. And I don't expect anything in return. Yes, Prahlad Maharaj says that to Hiranyakashipu, that if I ask you anything, it's a business transaction. But this is not a business transaction. I want to please you. And that's my goal of life. My goal of life is to please you, to see you happy, to see the smiling face, to see the smile on your face, to make you feel proud, to make Srila Prabhupada happy that yes, I will be committed, even though I might be a rotten soul, you know, rotten personality, but I will dedicate, I'll try to do my best only and only to be, in ISKCON, to um, to develop that desire to be a follower, an ardent follower of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. Yes. to be ardent followers of our gurus. Yes. And not to be influenced by something else. And that's the Maya actually, that there is something out there which is better. Oh, Prabhupada did not give us this, Prabhupada did not give us that, you know. Because it's our failure, because it's the shadow, it's our desire to enjoy. It is our desire to enjoy. Then Krishna lets us think all these things, you know. But if we want to be Srila Prabhupada's follower, we want to be Prabhupada Anugas, right? Rupa Anugas or Prabhupada Anugas, then Krishna will give us ways to do that. Yes. He'll give us the faith. Yes, because it is Him only that He can give us, do all these things, remove all these attachments. It's not because of me. My soul can't do anything. I can't do anything, you know. But Krishna can do everything. He is everything. Yes. He will remove the shadow. He will remove the clouds of Maya and show us Himself, the brilliant sun, the smiling face, the lotus eyes, yes, the eyebrows, you know, like Cupid, Madana Mohana, he'll attract in such a way that we will never feel complacent. We'll always be inspired. Yes. So Gajendra over here is giving all these views, and then we will be reading tomorrow through all those prayers. So each and every prayer is so unique. Yes. So we should try to contemplate and think that what is my perspective? Do I have this perspective? And if I don't, how can I apply it? Yes. So we'll stop here. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. A very, very wonderful class. You took us to the full journey of our sincere endeavor to progress in Krishna consciousness, from connecting everything material to spiritual, and then doing all the activities in connection with Krishna, and then everyone searching for happiness, and the real happiness is there in spiritual world. That's why we are searching, and Krishna is true. That's why we are searching. And then faith that Krishna is true is the first thing, and then that faith comes from sadhu sangha, and sadhu sangha means practically doing service, and that is what pleases Krishna. So because we don't have direct access to Krishna, so we have to please Krishna through serving sadhus. Thank you so much for this practical class. Hare Krishna. I request devotees, if they have any questions or comments, they can go ahead now. Shruti Mataji is telling that, Prabhuji, can you let us know how to modify our consciousness while working in IT industry, facing work challenges, and how to make it spiritual?
So how to modify our consciousness while working in IT industry, facing work challenge. Yeah, so even I work, right? So it's always a challenge to make it spiritual, and it's always an issue. But I was talking to my teammate, and that person is not a devotee, but they're favorable and all. So you're discussing about, and this person was telling me that you should be more observant during your meetings. You should try to work, And then I was thinking in my head that should I really be focusing so much on work? And then the aspect came up that, because it is my duty right now, and because I am working, so my consciousness should be that yes, if even if I'm facing challenges, it's Krishna who's trying to tell me that, I need to. It's like because I've taken up this duty, taken up this job, to do it nicely is also a part of my devotional service. So it's not like we are like the gopis, okay? The gopis, on one hand, they were just doing those responsibilities just to give them up, correct? They were doing their household duty just to give them up. But at the same time, they were doing it perfectly. Like Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Rupa Goswami that uh, what is that? A wife, a lady who has an extramarital affair, she does the duties of the husband more perfectly. Correct? Why? Because she has in her thought that she shouldn't get caught or something like that. And this is the practical thing for us also. That we do not let them know that we are doing something very different. We are thinking about Krishna, we are listening to this, we are listening to that. We behave so perfectly that they do not have a hint that, we are slackening it at our work. So it's like it can be applied in many ways. Like suppose, let's say some devotees are there who are already, you have done worked so much for so many years, okay? Like they have worked for like 25 years and now they are in their 50s, like Ananda Prabhu in Chowpatty. He says that I just go for work only 1 hour because I want to reduce. So for him, yes, he was mentioning that ignoring work is the biggest deal. That is his duty now. That he wants to give it up slowly and steadily, but he wants to fill up somewhere or the other, so that he doesn't get the shock of his life when he actually gives up everything up. So in that stage, yes, ignoring your work is the perfect thing. But for a person who is just starting and he's a grahastha and then he has to work for his family and everything, so the perfect duty is that he's going to make sure that his work is perfectly done so that Krishna is going to be happy. Yes, and these people are not going to trouble him, you know, for Krishna consciousness. Let's say, because I face such issues, I'm trying to make work around them. It's like, let's say we have to go for sadhu sangha and all. And if I've not done my work over the week, I am going to be called over the weekend. But I don't want that. I don't want that anxiety over my head that, somebody comes and disturbs me during my nice time in sadhu sangha, during my chanting in sadhu sangha, during the kirtans in sadhu. I don't want those calls. So I will make sure that I do my duty so nicely that these people are not going to come and trouble me for my Krishna consciousness. Yes, if in your job, if you are over, and there's so many aspects over here. So we are just trying to touch on some of them. Maharaj says that, if you are over endeavoring in your job, you're just working 12 hours, then it's a problem. We need to think about it again, you know. Then we need to see what is going to happen. Then our Krishna consciousness is going to be sacrificed. Then that is not good. Then we should ignore some hours of it, okay, or change the job or something. But if you are in a comfortable position, you are doing, minimum kind of things, and everybody's happy around you, the job, the boss is happy and everything. So then, yeah, they won't trouble us when we are doing our devotional life. When we need those vacation days to actually go to Mayapur, it will be free. Yes, that's how Hussein Shah, actually, Nawab Hussein Shah, that's why he allowed Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami to establish mini Vrindavan, right? They had established Vrindavan and they were always immersed in Krishna consciousness. Why? He trusted them so much, even though they were Hindus. How is that? They are doing everything so perfectly. It's actually something to learn, right? They didn't want any trouble for their spiritual life. So they did their job so perfectly that Nawab Hussain Shah was like, "Ah, you take more. You take more bonus, everything in Krishna." It's like, we know all this, but it's very hard to apply. So what we can do today, we should try to do it today. You know, everybody can hear me, right? Because my internet says that it's unstable. But okay, I think yes. Okay. So then that's why when we are facing challenges in our work system also, right? It's Krishna telling us that, yeah, you should, do nicely. You do it for me. When Arjuna is in the battlefield, he's trying to kill Duryodhana. It is not a spiritual job. It is not like performing arti on the battlefield. But he's doing his job perfectly. Krishna told him to kill Karna, he killed Karna. But we have to see also who it's a very thin line, Yukta Vairagya we say, right? This is that Yukta Vairagya part. We have to be sure that we are strong enough to do all these things. Yes, our devotion is strong enough. We are not distracted. Like for me, it's like very difficult to focus on the job. It's like, why? It's fine. I don't want to do it. Nobody wants to do it. But still, you have taken it up, right? So I will do it nicely for the Lord. I will do nicely so that the Lord will be happy with me. My manager be happy or not, but I will do my thing nicely. That is my duty. And Krishna will be happy with me if I do it nicely. Whether Krishna gives me the right result or not, that's another issue. But I will do it nicely for Krishna. We should try to see it that way. And then challenges are there. So then, yes, Krishna is going to help me. He's making me take shelter of him. When our deadlines come near, which I'm doing right now nearby. So our deadlines come near, right? I start thinking about Krishna, like how am I going to do this thing? It's like, please, somehow or the other, please help. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. And then Krishna actually, somehow or the other, you get that thought that, oh, you know, I thought that it will not be done, but the intelligence which Krishna has given me, it is working fine. I'm able to complete it, maybe 2 days later, but it is fine, it's working. And I become so happy that Krishna is so nice, that, he helped me so nicely. And that's why we have to always, in difficult times, then we take shelter, things happen, then we give that, appreciation back to Krishna. He saved me. And that's, somewhere you are relating it to Krishna. And so you see everything start to relate to Krishna, the things which come by. And then we become like, perfect Yukta Vairagya. We don't get baffled when we are at work. We are still Krishna conscious. And they also don't get baffled that why is this person not doing his job properly. Yes. It's difficult topic, so I hope it's a little helpful. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that answer, Prabhu. One thing I understand that what we choose to do, that is one thing we have to little bit put our intelligence. What all service we have to do, what all you can do, either to be materially benefited or no material, it's spiritual, but still what you're choosing to do, that Krishna has to give intelligence. Thank you.
And then applying our intelligence is surrender. That's why Krishna says Buddhi Yoga, right? Because the intelligence is given by Krishna. You know that story where the person is about to be saved, and there's a big flood, and he says the Lord will save me. And then somebody comes in a boat and says that, oh, you can come over here, you can. And then he's like, no, the Lord will come and save me. Then the helicopter also shows up. Then he's like, no. And then he drowns. And then he asks the Lord that, why didn't you save me? He's like, dude, I did send you all these things, right? No, no, but because he was sentimental. We are using our intelligence how to progress in spiritual life. And if this thing is going to reduce my anxiety in material life, and I know this thing is going to make things comfortable for me, then I will apply it in such a way that my spiritual life is comfortable. I'm able to do my sadhana. I'm able to go for festivals. I'm able to, do Janmashtami. So do some seva in the temple, do active, be an active member of the congregation. So if I'm able to do all of that, then that is intelligence, right? Like you said, Mataji, we can choose. Then the choice also is because of our devotion. We will get those choices. We will see those choices if our devotion is strong also. Yeah. Yeah. You're very right, Mataji. Thank you. Jai.
Thank you so much. I request Shamagori Mataji, would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my obeisances. Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji, and very nice explanation of the question. Very nice answer, Prabhuji. And even though it was philosophical, it was so nice because it's everybody is going through that. Everybody has the same job. Like we are all grihasthas here, so we have to face all kind of challenges, and we have to be working for Krishna. So we need to remember Krishna. Like Krishna says, like, remember me and do your duty. So we have to, remember Krishna all the time. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji, for approaching us. It's always nice to be in your association. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. There are no questions or comments. We will end here. Prabhuji, with your permission. Will pay obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya.
Vancha kalpatarubhyaksha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnav Vrinda
Maha.
ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so
Krishna
much,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Chaitanya
Thank you, dear
Prabhuji.
devotees.
Hare
We'll end the
Krishna.
class.